Good morning. Let's see what we got here this morning on some small caps. And we'll take a look at some big caps too. All right, PFSA. No news. Runner, biotech. Fading really nicely so far. Took a short as soon as I got online. ALLR. Very nice move. Another biotech. Let's see what the news was. FDA fast track designation. Nice one. Nearly hit the long on this, but missed. The long was right here. Little breakout. See, it's not up very much. It's up a little bit. It's up 40%, but it's not up too much. So it is a possible long off of this flag breakout right here. Yeah, these to the watch list. ALLR. SATS, this is a crazy one. $50 stock. But what does the daily look like? Let's see. Yeah, this looks like a real company. Let me pull up some data on this. What do we have? SATS. EchoStar. $7 billion market cap. Yeah, this is a mid cap, so we don't want to touch this one. Although, yeah, there could be a setup here, but not for me. Let me see if I can get, what is it? Trying to figure out the float on this thing. Looks like 287,000 or a million shares outstanding. Float 135 million. So kind of low, kind of on the edge. Kind of on the edge. More of a mid-cap vibe. And it definitely trades more like a mid-cap anyways. So we'll avoid that one. See, IVVD, this is another one. 120 million shares outstanding. Actually, let me look at the news on SATS because I want to know what's happening. What news is working? All right. Announces Spectrum sale of hybrid model mobile network. Steps towards resolving Federal Communication Commission inquiries. Okay, entered into a definitive agreement with AT&T to sell the company's 3.45 gigahertz and 600 megahertz spectrum licenses. All right, a $23 billion deal, subject to regulatory approval. So it's contingent. We have a potential deal with AT&T. That's a big deal for the stock. Not a biotech. So this is worth a watch, but I don't really have a great plan for it. Not really in my playbook. PFSA. This is This is more like the thing. Just slapped it short whenever I got online. Pretty much that simple. We'll see if it fades. These can fade really nice. PFSA. I don't recommend shorting, by the way. Let me see. Who do I get rid of? Let's get rid of Zone. PFSA. Make sure it's on my watch. All right, that's it for small caps. We do have some stuff that's already faded back. BENF. A really nice looking pre-market early short. Not up a ton. It's up decently, actually. Close to 100%. See, this is a 4 a.m. short. You gotta hit it at 4 a.m. That's all you can do with it. Maybe hit it on a bounce back towards VWAP later. You have another chance to get in. Maybe on a bounce back to a moving average. All right, we'll throw that on watch. There was a couple big runners yesterday. OPAD. This one's holding up. Potential day 2 short. And INHD. This was a big one. Started running yesterday. Out of nowhere. It is gapping down, but these can come back. Gonna keep a close watch on it. And then MODV, this was a bankruptcy play the other day. Bouncing up off this bankruptcy news. Very common pattern. So we had about, I don't know, 130% move on this day, and then it came right back. And now this one's done. So totally cooked. Probably going to be delisted. You do have to be careful with those. Scotty says hollow moving. Let's check it out. Hollow. Looking nice. Nice fresh runner. See, this is cool because it's not up a ton yet. So what would be really nice here is if we get a flag right around VWAP would be nice, and then we could trade the flag breakout. It could just rip. Let's see the news. Ideally, best case scenario for me is a flag right around VWAP, and then we get the flag break. Microcloud, hologram. All right. Anticipates a net profit over RMB 230 million for the first half of 2025. Okay, so they're anticipating a profitable year for the first half, just for the first half of 2025. Let me see. Anticipates a significant year-over-year turnaround to profitability for the first half of 2025. And they're talking about RMB, which is not real money. That is, in fact, not real money. So what is RMB to real money units? Let's see, RMB to USD. What do we say? 230 million. $230 million is $32 million. $32 million in freedom units. So pretty small potatoes. But still, this has been a good runner in the past. And okay, it's pulling back now. Maybe we're going to get the flag. We'll see. Hopefully we get the flag. Yeah, something like ALR. This is exactly what I wanted to see. ALR did it really, really nicely. This is the play. 20, 30, 40% potential on that. So yeah, hollow, obviously not the best daily chart. A lot of gap and craps on it, so we do expect another gap and crap, but could also have a nice run in pre-market. Plenty of room, up to $10. Google tight range, expecting a big move. Tight range on big caps. Yeah, let me look at that real quick too. Yeah, it looks like things are kind of deciding which way they want to go. Put hollow up here. Hollow. All right, that's a double top so far. Maybe this is going to set up. I don't hate the buy right here, actually. But, you know. Not really a flag yet. So Tilray, I sold my Tilray swing this morning into the 60s because it was just too tempting. Let me pull it up over here. Yeah, it's quite a gap on it. And the gaps usually want to fill, so I couldn't resist the sell. It could still morning spike. But that was about a 40% trade because we bought on this trend break right over here. And just sold it in the 60s. So we were in from, I think this was Friday. And then just sold it. So that's about a 40% trade. I'm pretty happy with that. Can't be too upset with that, even if it keeps going now. So super nice. We hit this one over here. I sold this one too soon. And then we hit it again right there. Love the swings. Love to see it. I still have Nike long for a swing. Nike is still kind of undervalued. Super undervalued. In my opinion. And it's pretty beaten down on the chart. Right near the all-time lows, or not all-time lows, but recent lows over the past several years. And it hit new lows this year, just based on this pullback here. And so I have it long from 75. I sold some into the 78s, 79 area. I really want to see this break out over 80 pretty convincingly. So I do want to try to hold out for that. Oh yeah, Tesla I had long yesterday. I sold it yesterday because it just bounced so nicely. So Tesla, it's been in this massive wedge. Broke out of the wedge, pulled back to the wedge as a breakout pullback. So I ended up buying it right here at 336 in the morning. Go to the 1 minute here. So I love it when it fakes out the lows too and pre-market levels. So I bought 336.50 right about there, and then I sold it into 347. So when a big move happens like that, I tend to just want to get out, and I'm not looking to hold this long term. It is supposed to be a swing, but the move happened pretty much right away, so locked it in. Obviously, this could keep going, but about 11 bucks a share right there. And then just like over here, I had this short. We were up 15 bucks a share right there. So when I'm up quick, probably got to lock it in. Again, I'm not going for the massive swing. Although this is probably going towards 400 bucks if I had to guess. But it's probably going to chop around. We don't know exactly how it's going to get there. And there are probably more opportunities to take some smaller swings along the way. Still keeping a close eye on Intel. Trump getting involved. The government buying Intel, kind of weird. But looks like a pump to me. It looks like it's going to pump big time. The question is now, we kind of have a catalyst. So this has been the problem with Intel. We haven't really had a catalyst for all this time. So it's been struggling around 25 bucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is basically number 6. It's struggling around 24, 25 bucks a share. But this time we have a catalyst. We have Trump. We have the pumper in chief on top of it. And this is looking kind of interesting. SoftBank's getting involved, $2 billion. The government taking a stake in the $20 area. This is a national security situation, or you could make it one if you wanted to. So it's holding up really nice. This is flagging really nicely. Right at this $25 zone where we've been struggling at again and again and again. But this time we have a catalyst. So I think this time is probably different. That's the thing. This time is different. But man, if this could just drop below 23 just a little bit, that would be so nice. That would be the best case scenario for this trade for me. We just take out that level right there and then reclaim, and then it's going to probably rip after that. The problem is it could just rip anyways. It doesn't have to do that, but I'd love to see that. Just like Apple. Apple did the same thing. And this is a common setup, common pattern. Happens again and again. But Apple had a really nice looking flag here off of a massive wedge breakout. And then what happened? We had the dip under the flag, and then it ripped right back up. So it's the fake out. We want to see the fake out and reclaim, and then I'll be pretty sure that it's going to work after that. Otherwise, we're just flagging, and flags can break out, but they are less reliable. If you get the fake out on top of it, I think it increases the win rate dramatically. Because you're faking out everybody, you're trapping shorts, you are faking out all the longs, and probably somebody's scooping up all that liquidity. And it's not just faking out for no reason. But if it fakes out and reclaims, I think we're going to be in good shape. Again, it doesn't have to do that. It could just go. All right, 1 minute to the bell. So Tim Gritani, one of the legends, has returned. He had several good weeks, he said, and then down about 250K over the past couple of weeks. And then had a really good trade on open. Maybe mention that more later. Let's focus on the open. IXHL setting up a trend break short. Consecutive day runner. Backside bounce short. Gapping up. Looking for my next swing trade. The swing account is doing really good. Hit new all-time highs today on it. After that Tilray trade. Hollow failing now. Big watching ALLR right here. Newegg finally coming back to earth. Look at that. Double top fake out. Higher high fake out into the downtrend. That is the tell. Probably should have taken a short on that. Kind of a wild one. Oh yeah, Hollow getting liquidated now. ALR likely all day fader. Really not sure what to think about GameStop. GameStop has been holding sideways for so long on such low volume. They had this bond offering, which they short into to hedge. So it's kind of what happened. And the bond traders want volatility. So what's odd is there's been no volatility. And I think they just lose if there's no volatility. So they're going to have to exit their position at some point. I don't really know the details of all that, but that's the basics. And if it goes up or down, they'll do really good. So far it's done nothing. kind of bizarre. I'd expect it to do something, but there is a big trend right here I'm watching. If this trend breaks, it's, pretty much lights out for a while, and then eventually it'll come back up. But if this trend breaks right here around 22 bucks, we're going to see probably a pullback to 15, 16, something like that, I would guess. If it holds the trend, this could pop back up over 30 anytime. There is earnings coming up. Why am I on Bitcoin? GameStop earnings. Okay, on the 9th, after hours, September 9th. All right, is ALLR going to squeeze? Horrible dilutive stock. That's what we like to see. Okay, here we go. Pushing over the high day. Nice. $14 million float. Maybe some convertibles at $5, but that's old. Let's see, August of 24. Probably already did that. That is old. September 24 ATM. Registered. Okay, no recent dilution that I can see. Checking on Tilray. Okay, so I sold in the 60s. We'll see if that's good or not. When these things gap like this, you never know if it's going to hold up. But they want to fill the gap, at least. And it's trying to do that already. Out good on grass. Yeah. I had to trim the grass. So when there's gaps like this is why I get a little bit trigger happy. So I didn't know 160 was going to be good, and it could still hold and go higher. But so far it's looking like a first red day. Definitely open to rebuying this though if it sets up nicely. This is a breakout, so if it can hold up, hold a dip somewhere, it could set up again. All right, let's see ALLR. So is it going to be a short blowout day or a short winning day? So far everything's fading except ALLR, which hasn't started fading yet. All right, this one's too expensive, unfortunately, to short. Wait, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Actually cheap. All right, we'll see what we do on that one. I don't recommend short selling. It's too dangerous. All right, SATS, this is that mid cap one. Probably fades, but I'll pass. HKPD. Nice looking pump. Straight up. No news. So somebody's pumping this one. These are all pump and dumps pretty much. Dang, Thar. Jeez. I gotta start these day 2 shorts. Holy cow, look at that. This thing got halted down. Opened way down here. Jeez, this is brutal if you're long. 20% gap down on the halt. Into bounce. Might try short on HKPD in a minute. Let that one chill out. Hopefully it goes higher. IVVD, I'm just gonna have to miss that one. Ten-AM reversals or continuation? Good question. I always lean towards reverse. Especially if levels are getting faked out. But it depends. Tesla's looking strong right now. Just wondering on Tesla, short term, does this 350 level matter? Maybe it double tops there. Maybe not. Honestly, bigger picture, I think this goes towards $400 over some time. I don't have a position right now in it. Just praying Intel drops some. Another spiker, PTHL. This looks like a Chinese pump and dump. Boiler room walk up. This is what it looks like every single time. You have a walk up, fake liquidation day right here, and then the real liquidation day right there. Dump it all at once. Let's check on Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's looking very weak. A little concerning. Higher high fake out at the top. That's a very common top out pattern for Bitcoin and a lot of things. Higher high fake out. Just sucking in the longs that are buying the breakout and then immediately dumping on them. So is it the top? I don't know, but it is back to the 109s. Back under that 50 moving average a little bit. A little bit scary looking. Could always turn into consolidation. We'll see how aggressively it falls off. If it drops super fast, it's more likely to be the top. If it kind of just hangs out and lets these moving averages catch up, it's more likely to want to consolidate. What's really interesting too with this is we have a recent high right here. And it just barely pushed over that here, made a kind of another shelf. And now so far it's just pulling back to all of that major support. That's all it's doing. So it's really hard to tell if this is going to hold or if it's going to crack and start taking out the 100, the 200. If if we see straight down right here, it's probably the top. Just like back here. I kind of think we're going to see all the tech stocks pull back. AI stocks are in a bubble. And probably what's going to happen is the big money in those stocks are going to pull out and start buying up the undervalued stocks. And I think we're going to see some of those stocks run next. See you, Scotty. Have a good one. Yeah, we've got NVIDIA on a massive trend break. Pretty big trend break. So I'd be more concerned whenever this 50 starts breaking down. But it definitely seems like this is going to be unsustainable. I don't know. AI is just not, it's not good enough yet. It's really good, but it's not doing, it's not writing its own code. It's not building itself. It's not building apps, and doing coding jobs by itself. And it will still cause, it'll take you down rabbit holes that don't even matter. So it's not perfect. It's way better than Google, though, for searching stuff. And it's good for simple things. For coding tasks, like instead of Googling something, you can ask the AI and it'll give you exactly what you want for your specific example if it's simple enough. If it's too complicated, it just gets confused. So I really think the AI stuff is super overblown. The future is amazing. It's going to be crazy, but right now, it's just not there. Plus, the next wave of this stuff is going to be when the AI has a body, and we're still making the robot bodies. We're still working on that. It's still very early, but that would be the next level to this, is when they get the robot bodies going. But right now, they're working on the brain. Okay, ALLR looking like it's gonna fade. A bit of a crack right there. This could be the end. Looking good, fingers crossed. Hopefully it continues down. Hong Kong Pharma. Wonder if I should sell Nike or not. Uh, let's see, I gotta find another swing. Etsy. So this is what I was talking about. I think a lot of the money is going to be flowing into these kind of stocks that are beaten down. They've been grinding at the base, finding their base, and now they've held the base for a year, 2 years, and they might be getting ready to run back up. I don't know why Etsy is dropping like this all of a sudden, but it's had 3 higher highs, back into dipping. Let me consult my financial advisor. Okay, my financial advisor likes it between 60 and 90 by end of year. Seems good. I think I'll dabble in some Etsy here. Let's see. Let me get some Etsy going. Let me see. Let me attempt to read a balance sheet. So we've got some gross profit increasing year over year. That's nice. Let me see. Should I look at quarterly or annually? Annually kind of tells a better picture, better story. Let's see. Net income going up very nicely. Oh, this is a bad year. What happened here? See, that was 2022. That was a down year for the market as a whole. What kind of debt do they have? Long-term debt hasn't really changed over the past several years. Retained earnings is down. Plenty of cash. I don't know. I don't see any glaring problems with this. All right, I own Etsy. I am an owner. The very simple thing to think about with this is it's probably found the base, most likely. You know, we've got this lower low, and it reclaimed pretty aggressively off of that. And now it has pulled above these moving averages, and it's pulling back to the moving averages. So it's kind of like a breakout pullback. And whenever these things happen, you start seeing these moving averages tighten up. That's where nice things can happen. Reclaiming the moving averages, pulling back to the moving averages. So we'll give that a try for a swing. See if we can push back up to 80 bucks. I like it. Okay, what else? Reddit is probably coming down. Coinbase pulling back really hard after that all-time high breakout. Intel really hoping we get a nice pullback on this. Looking like maybe a red day today, so that's good. If we can just take out that 23 level, I'll start buying. Again. Google looks like another one of those insane stocks. Probably overvalued. Let's see, you are short Meta, Nugent, short Meta. Let me take a look at that. Going for a day trade. $751.58, risking $753. Risking high a day. I don't really have a good read on that one. Yeah, I'd like to see a flag or a big aggressive push, and I'd have a better read on it. It is kind of a flag here on the 1 hour over a few days. So maybe some kind of flag breakout, flag breakdown, something like that. Uh-oh. ALR's coming against me. Not good. Does it squeeze for real or not? Hopefully this just fakes out high day and comes back down. Ooh, might actually come back. All right, I think I'm gonna call it there. Got a few shorts on. Gonna let these play out. See how we do. I will post some updates in the Discord later. Well, good luck, everyone, and we'll be back tomorrow.